We continue to look at how South Africa's post-apartheid presidents have each left their own personal imprint on the nation's psyche. This, of course, is ahead of tomorrow's opening of Parliament. In this third installment, contributing editor Vuyo Mvoko looks back at Jacob Zuma's tenure, perhaps the most eventful of them all.
The National Prosecuting Authority had just dropped corruption charges a few weeks earlier when parliamentarians elected Jacob Zuma president, following the ANC's win in that year's election. It was one of multiple legal battles he would face in his 9 years as head of state. He announced his arrival at the Union buildings with a pledge.
I, Jacob Zuma, swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and will obey, observe, uphold, and maintain the Constitution and all other law of the Republic.
That promise was still fresh in the minds of South Africans when supposed security upgrades began at his Nkandla homestead, 532 kilometers away from his office, complete with an amphitheater, a cattle crawl, and a swimming pool, or rather, a fire pool. 5 years later, following a 2-year investigation, then Public Protector Thuli Madonsela would find that the president unduly benefited from extensive publicly funded improvements that had nothing to do with security. Zuma was asked to pay.
We want the president to answer a simple question: when is he paying the money as directed by the Public Protector? That's all we're asking.
Honorable Malema, I now have to ask that you leave the chamber.
We cannot simply allow for police to be allowed to enter this chamber. It is a grave constitutional violation. We want to be here to get the State of the Nation address, but we cannot violate this constitution of the people of this country by allowing the police in this chamber. We can't accept that. I'd like clarity on that matter, Madam Speaker.
For years, Zuma would be embroiled in controversy. He allegedly enabled his friends, the Gupta family and their associates, to state coffers. Zuma is also accused of allowing the destruction and hollowing out of state-owned enterprises and rendering law enforcement agencies impotent. He'd often change his executive. Successor Cyril Ramaphosa would later describe Zuma's tenure as 9 wasted years. But not everyone agreed with that characterization.
When the administration started, we were on the back foot when it comes to HIV and AIDS. Large numbers of people were perishing in South Africa, and there was no sufficient access to antiretroviral treatment. The provision as well of antiretroviral treatment in public hospitals increased quite dramatically. Lives were saved. The establishment of 2 new universities. Universities had not been built in South Africa since democracy. The absolute increase, incredible increase in the number of people accessing the National Student Financial Aid Scheme.
Under Zuma, the country struggled to create economic growth, and government's performance was also questioned. South Africans took to the streets. Zuma was unfazed.
Zuma must fall, Zuma must fall, Zuma must fall, Zuma must fall, Zuma.
But even within his own party, the tide turned. He was recalled before the end of his term, still professing his innocence.
I have therefore come to the decision to resign as President of the Republic with immediate effect. Even though I disagree with the decision of the leadership of my organization.
For Newzroom Afrika Channel 405, I am Vuyo Mvoko in Johannesburg.